Okay, we're on the west side of the structure, northwest corner, working our way around counterclockwise. And we've got brick, and we've got, hardy board planks. Now, an interesting thing about these planks is you see that right there, it's called a butt seam. Butt seams. Another interesting thing, see the nails? Those are acceptable. Those are acceptable per manufacturer. Not the most attractive way to do it, but sometimes you just got to get in there and get it done. But these butt seams, right here, right there, okay, they should have been primed. I can't see it from here, but it doesn't look like it. I'd be surprised if it were. But what I can see from here is they don't have flashing tape behind them. I'd fall over dead if I ever saw that. But that's what the manufacturer thinks they should have. That's what the manufacturer recommends. So on the hardy board siding, hardy plank, fiber board, fiber cement board, and on this siding, the butt seams do not have flashing tape behind them. Maybe I get a better picture with the camera pole. Maybe I did. I'll check that out. I'm going to have binoculars in the backyard. I haven't done that yet. These are called control joints or expansion joints. Call it what you will. You got this much brick wall, we expect it to move. We expect it to move. That's why we have the lines out in the streets. So we have these control joints. Some people call them expansion joints. Call it what you will. We can just argue all day about it. But the fact is that they're there by design, but they're supposed to be serviced. See the way that it's all pulling away from the brickwork? This needs to be cut out and reapplied. We have one on this wall. This is the west wall, and another one on the east wall. This is the gas meter entering the west wall, and what I see is that the gas is not bonded, not electrically bonded. We'll learn more about the gas system once we get inside. I'll be able to tell you more when I see more. I don't mean to be that cryptic. I can be cryptic. These are called freeze boards. Okay, behind the rain gutter. Behind the rain gutter. That's a fascia board. That's a soffit board, and these are the freeze boards. And especially when you have a bunch of columns on the porch, you're going to see some movement. You're going to see some movement at the freeze boards. We've got a little bit of movement right here at the soffit board. We've got a crack right there. It should probably be sealed. Why is it doing that? Is it because the flashing doesn't go over the rain gutter like it's supposed to? Huh. Inquiring minds want to know. A little bit of movement on the freeze joints. Soffit's separating a little bit right there. We don't have any ventilation on this lower roof. There's no ventilation. So it just sits there and holds heat, expands and contracts, and any moisture that gets in there causes the soffit boards. Separation at soffit boards across the front of the front porch. I'll word that some kind of way. Of course, it's happening upstairs too. They got ventilation up there. Happening up there too. Huh, okay. There's going to be some redundancy, especially if you saw my third short roof video. The rain gutters, there should be an inch gap between the rain gutter butt ends and the brickwork, and there should be kick out flashing right there. Now, I'm not a botanist, but if you're from Dallas, DFW, if you're from Fort Worth, you know what a red tip Fatima is. And these are very common and very prevalent. Look, they got some over there. Some over there. These are barrier plants. You use these for fences, and maybe you want a barrier fence by your front porch for privacy. I get that, but they're very, very aggressive. Once their trunk gets wider than 3 inches, then, you know, as far as architecture is concerned, these are classified as trees. And they have all the negative effect on your foundation as a tree does. They do. And also, you can fight with it, you can fall in love with it, you can keep it. It happens at my house. But they, as prevalent as they are, I think they're almost native. They might be native. Might be. But they're also prone to diseases. So if a disease comes in here, because it's a shrub, and you know, it could wipe it all out. But you haven't gotten the disease yet, but you got the roots already. Make some comment about the front flower bed and the Fatimas, and perfect opportunity to address the southwest corner to help prevent erosion and to complement the retaining wall there. Oh my goodness. Okay, in another video, I'm over here talking about not seeing clean out caps for your sewer system. And so when it gets to that part, just kind of say, hey bud, learned something today, but there's your clean out cap, at least one of them. Got a clean out cap for your sewer system right here in these Fatimas. You might have another one buried over there in the bushes, I don't know. You should have two, I see one. One clean out cap in the front bushes. Moving on along. Now, I'm just hanging out in the shade. See these holes right here? They go down the other side. They go all the way around the house. Those are called weep holes. Okay, homeownership 101, all roofs leak, all walls leak. We design roofs and walls to shed water faster than they accept it because we don't want the water inside the wall system. Brick is a great system, okay? Fireproof, permanent, maintenance free unless you do a little bit of pointing or unless you paint it, okay? Great system, but not a perfect system. So what happens with brick is it's very porous. It does accept water, quite a bit of water. So what we do, we've designed these buildings like that so that we have weep holes. And most of the time, they allow vapor to escape. And you never see it, you never notice it. But your wall stays dry, your structure integrity remains. If you have an event, I've seen a few, water will come out of those. They will weep real good for you. And you don't want the water inside. Nobody wants an indoor pool, usually. So that's what weep holes are. Now, anytime you have a lintel, that's this metal guy right here, that black metal guy, it's a lintel. Anytime you have a lintel over a fenestration, which I think is French for hole in your wall. Lintels are over, they support the brickwork over your fenestration, which is a window or a door. And anytime you have that, then we should have these same weep holes that we're talking about down here. You should have had weep holes over this window. That's the formal living. You should have front door. You should have had weep holes. We don't have weep holes there. We're going to talk about the TMP drain lines too high. This is the garage car entry. We do not have weep holes. Do not have weep holes. And I don't know if this lintel, okay, if it was designed or installed well enough to properly support the brickwork, because we have stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar right here. We have stair-step cracks between the brick and mortar underneath this window going this way, and then we have them coming over this way, stair-step cracks coming down in this direction. And what does it tell us about the direction of the stair-step cracks? It tells us that this is dropping. It tells us that this is dropping. It tells us that the lintel is probably not supported right. And it'll probably go on for a while. But one day it's going to happen. One day it's going to happen. And we see it up here too. If we look in the window frames, between the windows and the brickwork. You see that? We got some separation. Got some separation right there. He's right there. We sure do. So, you know, separation between the south bedroom window frame and the brickwork, or whatever window that is, but that's in my notes. And rain gutters, we talked about them on the rooftop. But another thing about rain gutters is they're supposed to divert water. What can we do here? Come back. Away from the structure. Several feet away from the structure. Now if you put a rain gutter out here, then the lawnmower guy is going to be running over it. You're going to be running over it. The air conditioning technician is going to be stepping on it. Nobody's going to like it. You can see the weed whacker's already been doing a number on it. So in this case, it might be better just to go underground. Just take it underground, and it pops out a little farther down and then comes out. And it's a little more expense, but that's probably the only practical solution for that. It'd be nice if it just came out like that. You'd probably leave it. I did at my house, but my house isn't for sale. And you shouldn't have to live like me. You shouldn't. Coming on along. We're talking about all this stuff, but you know, we're also talking about the walls. So some of this sealant, the meter wasn't sealed, and some of the sealant's dry and peeling away from the house, and some of the sealant around us. Okay, to keep water out of the walls. Keep water out of the walls. We don't want water in there. We're trying to get it out. We got weed holes. Right here, the soil's kind of high. That's where the original condensing unit foundation pad was, and they just added another pad to the top of it. But we got high soil conditions right in here. Right in here. That could be improved some kind of way. This is another control joint, and of course it's drying and cracking like the other one. That's what they do. Now this roof covering has, I don't know what kind of venting system it has on the top. I can't remember, but I think it's got a passive exhaust system. Should. But we also have soffit vents. Okay, that's the air intake into the house. And this is the only area that I noticed this. But over here on the east wall, I want to call your attention to this. Okay, see the way the paint's peeling on the soffit vents? That is a symptom. That is a clue. That's an indication that the attic is not adequately ventilated. That's a tongue twister. Attic is not adequately ventilated. That's a symptom of that. Coming on along, butt joints, you know, we're repeating ourselves. Anytime a fence touches a structure that's conducive to wood destroying insects by design. Fences are beyond the scope of this inspection, by the way. If it were a termite inspection, it would just be the first 4 feet. But the fence doesn't latch. That'll make the roof work. Fence doesn't latch. Well, there's no sense in... Oh, maybe it'll stay. Coming along, rain gutters do not divert water far enough away. This is the exterior faucet. That's where I got the water pressure to the house. These are vertical trim boards. Okay. Got some separation between the vertical trim boards at the northeast corner over the pantry. I think, is that where the big wonderful pantry is in there? I think it is. In the diagonal corner from the breakfast area, we got some cracks between the brick and mortar here. Alright. Going up right in there. We don't have weep holes again. And then like before, we got just little bitty cracks between the brick and mortar. They're not big. They're not big. I'm more concerned about this one here. And the ones over the garage car entry. Those are of some concern to me. We've got a little bit of erosion over here. So this needs to be graded so that it carries the water down, because we have a pretty good swale that's taking the water out. So the drainage is, for the most part, except this one spot, a little indention. Okay, we got good positive drainage around the house. This is important to our client, my client. The yard slopes this way. You can just kind of pan on down and the water just goes there. You can see where it goes. You can also see where it doesn't go. And it stays here. This drainage right here should be handled. Okay, just a few more cracks. How we going? We're going. This is back where we started. This is back where we started. I'm just going to kind of come up here for a little bonus. I'm coming back with binoculars. That's the furnace flue. That should be standing up a little better. Okay, those are called turtles. Okay, those are your passive exhaust vents. Okay, we got those. Is that all you have for exhaust? That doesn't look like... Maybe I'll find some more in the attic. Alright. Oh, there's another one. I can see that there's a cricket behind the fireplace chimney. But see the wood, the siding on the fireplace chimney? It's supposed to be 2 inches above the roof covering. It's supposed to be a 2-inch gap there. I didn't make that up. Okay. I'm coming back with some binoculars.